Show. It's the Madman Morning Show. It's the Madman Morning Show. It's the Madman Morning Show. Sitting at home or you in your car. It's the Madman Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's the Madman Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the Madman Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the Madman Morning Show. 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 It's the Madman Morning Show.
And good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Magman Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host. Good morning to all of you on this wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, as they call it, it is the hump day. And we have gotten this far. I think we can move on just a little bit further. Good morning to everyone that's on WKRA. Good morning to all of you that are listening to us on our YouTube page. Good morning to all of you. No matter where you are, whether you're in your homes, your cars, your places of business, or wherever you may be listening to us, we'd like to thank you for being a part of this wonderful, wonderful experience we call a new day. Good morning to all of you. Good morning. Uh, Things happen when you off the air, and when we got off our station, let me pull this up. Give me 2 seconds. And when you pull things up, and when you see uh, also how our you see things happening overnight, especially I want to give an update right quick. The name on our YouTube page has changed to the Mac Man Morning Show. That is our new handle on YouTube. That's going to be the handle for most of our social media. You want to find us on social media, you go to the Macman Morning Show. They're going to correct it, but it should have been corrected today. Thank all of you for your support. Someone said that it would be easier for people to locate us and to find us. And we want to say good morning to everyone. Good morning to, I said what I said, our chief correspondent is here. So I'd like to say good morning
Hey, good
to you.
morning, James. Good morning to everyone in our listening audience, and good morning to our chat.
And we'd like to thank all of you. Thank you for a wonderful day on yesterday. We had quite a few new viewers and listeners, and we want to thank everybody. We reached over the 100 subscriber mark. That is a milestone. We had none. And we're just grateful for everything, no matter how it may look to other people. They might say, oh, that ain't nothing. Oh, you got to get more. Oh, this and that. I'm grateful. I'm not greedy. Take my time. Let's do what we do. And I celebrate our audience that's on with us. This is not a tax, and I don't complain about nothing. You know, this is really it's really things are really coming together. You know, sometimes when, and I'm going to do the weather. Sometimes when um, you set out to do something, the first thing people think is what's going to happen, and always looking for disaster. I'm not looking for disaster. You got to work at whatever you do. You got to work at it. And here at the morning show, we're working to do the things that we have to do. It shouldn't be a burden upon us. And even when you see, if you do the work, if you see how things are flowing, it's billions of people around the world that listen to various broadcasts and different things. And I'm grateful that we have the outlet to do it. So that others can hear. So there's an audience for everybody. I'm not greedy, jumping on top of this, jumping on top of that. saying that there's some decent common sense thinking people in the world that want to just hear news and information and get some good content and some things like that and talk like we have some sense. So that's what the MacMan Morning Show is all about. I can sensationalize. I'm not trying to drive anybody away. What I'm saying is, if we bring you something, we want to make sure that we're bringing it to you right. And no line and conspiracy theories to get you to just to tune in and everything. I'm gonna lie to you. I ain't got time for that. I don't have to sensationalize anything. I think I can. We can bring things to the forefront, and it'll be nice. That's what y'all. I mean, that's what I think that I feel that I like to represent. Now, there are a lot of people out there that criticize and say different things, and you should do this, you should do that, but we're not going to go in that direction. I think and I believe that people are looking for accurate information and everything. Like to welcome Brother Lee is here, y'all. He's here, and I said what I said. I'm going to do the weather right quick and get and listen. This region where we're at in the mid south, it is really beautiful, and it's really the weather is really cool. But we're getting ourselves geared up for this. There will be a weather pattern coming. Somewhat coming through. We might get a little bit of the effects of this hurricane. They're saying that we're not, but we're really concerned about Hurricane Milton that has been showing 160-mile-an-hour winds. It is a Category 5, extremely powerful and dangerous hurricane that's going to likely be a Category 3 or 4 when it does make landfill. But while it's out there in the Gulf, and those winds are coming, you can get those bands instead of the very eye of the storm coming on land. You'll get those bands of rain and wind, and they're evacuating those of you that have relatives in Orlando, Tampa, especially in the Tampa and the Orlando area. People that are working, they still saying that they got Disney World open. They're gonna make sure they get every dollar out of everybody, and then they're gonna claim on their insurance maybe something totally different. Uh, but the theme parks, the other theme parks have closed. Universal Studios have closed. They've canceled a whole lot of trips because they're anticipating some real severe damage. This is a serious storm. Category 5 was the category that Hurricane Katrina was at that level. And you saw what it could do. And even with the tides, it's not more so as the hurricane, it's that water that's going to be coming in and through Tampa Bay, that water is going to be flooding. You think you got water now. They have not even recovered from the last hurricane. So this is, I think, Helene was a precursor to um, what's getting ready to happen now. And we have to really be on, keep our minds and our hearts. We are praying for you, but we want you to get out of there too. We can pray for you all day, but if you stay in that area and they're telling you to get out of there and you continue, you want to stay, well, I feel sorry for you folks. If you got relatives in that area of Orlando, Tampa, please tell your folks to get out of there. Please don't stay. It's not worth saving a house, a car, or any other possession because we ain't got nothing but one life. You'll be gone and materialistical things will be here. Just a little food for thought. But right now it is in Sanatobia is 57. It is 56 in Olive Branch and in South Haven, and it is 56 at WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Over there, our brothers and sisters at our wonderful station. Good morning to all of you that are part of this. What was I going to do? Let me say, hey, good morning. I told that Brother Lee is here with us. Hey, good morning to you, Brother Lee. How are you, sir? As I prepare this here.
I am fine, and
There he is.
great day to everybody.
That's right. Great day to everybody. Um, my brother has been traveling a little bit. I ain't gonna get into business or nothing like that, but He is back in his locale, and I hadn't had a chance to really touch bases with Brother Lee, but I'll get my chance. I got you, Brother Lee. Listen, there's let me say this. We were talking about the hurricane, and there's an alert that just came across to me, and they're saying that they're asking people, please evacuate. Um, According to to NOAA, that's the weather, the federal weather service that we have. The winds are dying down, but they're getting ready for impact. Folks, if you got folks in those areas, y'all know what to do. Please tell them to. I don't know if they're going to get out of there now. Who knows? The interstates are full. They even had to reverse one part of the interstate. They had all, you know how like you got traffic going north and traffic going south. All traffic on that particular interstate is headed north. No, nothing's coming in. Everything is going out. So they changed all lanes of highway are heading north uh, for higher ground because this is going to be a rough storm. We're praying for them as they deal with this situation that they're dealing with. Nothing. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Just a little follow up on yesterday. I didn't want to get involved with it. I didn't want to say anything. But on yesterday, there was there was a meeting. Good morning to WKRA. We'd like to say good morning to our folks, all of y'all. Hey, um, what was I going to say? There was some hot. I mean, you're talking about something happened at the meeting in Thornton Township, which is right there in the township out there in Cook County. That's connected to Dalton, and Miss Henyard, the super mayor, is the supervisor of the Thornton Township. Well, none of the trustees of Thornton Township showed up for the meeting, so therefore there was no quorum. Okay. Now, I know she has allies. She got one ally that's on there, but there was another that Mr. Jerry Jones, he's a trustee there. He resigned, and there's chaos there. There's something going on, and the trustees said that there was a threat of some kind. Something was happening where you got to have a quorum. One thing you got to realize: just because you're the mayor doesn't mean that you're running anything. If you don't have that board, you're not going to make it. So they didn't show up, and there was no quorum there. And even on the other day, on Monday, when they had the Monday meeting, just a little wrap up, there was a quorum in a bigger place because there was a Open Meetings Act that was being violated. Good morning to the stylist is here. Keisha, the stylist is here. We'd like to say good morning to Alice and everybody else that has showed up. But then, because of the things that were happening, they had to have a larger venue. She had an opposing meeting at Village Hall. Nobody showed up, so she went to go where the people were, and so forth and so on. And y'all know what happened on yesterday. We're going to do a follow up to it because she was served at the village at the township meeting while nobody was there. She was doing her speech and everything, and she was served with another lawsuit. The guy just sat there. He was just as cool and sat at the front of, and she did her rant and her rave and hollered and talked about the supervisors weren't there. I mean, the trustees weren't there and all that old stuff. So to um, make a long story short, she got served. The process server was there and served her another one of those lawsuits. Mr. Isom Jr., I don't have his first name, it is public record. It was the gentleman that was going to, he paid for a piece of property and was going to turn it into a barber school and a barber shop and pay great money for it. And the mayor would not give him a business license because somebody or one of her people wanted that particular property. So she kept that person from going into business because she is the license clerk too, and the liquor clerk. All the liquor stores and anybody that's doing liquor business, you got to go through Tiffany and Dalton. You got to go through Tiffany, and they got a couple places. that are there. She's the liquor commissioner and the building is code person, or the person that issues the licenses for these various buildings. It's going to be some things going on, and we're going to be looking at Tyrone Isom Jr., young man that saved his money, put up his money, and wanted to open a legitimate business, made sure that he was up to code and everything. And this person with a greedy sale. See, I can't have mercy for people that do evil towards folks, and you don't have the sense enough to even say that you're sorry, or you have no kind of sorrow in your heart for the wrongdoings that you do to folks. That's kind of funky to me. But then you want us to have mercy on you. It's hard. That's why I say it's hard, folks. It's hard. But I'm nobody's judge. But that person, he worked hard, young man, trying to do right and live in his community and do right. And she denied him a license. He sued her. This was back in May of this year. I think that the guy sued her because he lost all of his investment and everything. She won't let him open, and it's a municipality. The municipality. That's why I say where you live, you ought to know the people that are in your area, who's in charge, because municipalities handle building permits, they handle business licenses, various licenses. You can have one from the state, you might have one from your county, but if your city license isn't there, they can come in and take you down for not having city permission to do business. So we're going to be looking at that a little bit. I just wanted to bring um, that part out right quick. Let's see what else was there. I said what I said was there was something else that we would you brought to my understanding. Can you help me out a little bit? Let me see here.
Another story,
Um,
or are you talking about this story?
I guess so. This story.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like you said, she was sitting there um, talking to the
Yeah.
audience with well, all the trustees said that they couldn't come because they feared their life. So
Hmm.
that's why they said they didn't show up, because they said they were afraid. And
Oh, so they did the
yeah,
reversal on her.
yeah,
That's what
they
they
said
did.
that
They
they were
turned it
afraid to
around
show up. Yeah, they were.
because she was
I don't
known
know
for
about all
doing
of that.
stuff.
Well, they
Yeah.
said that they asked her to have a meeting with them to see what they can
Yeah.
do to
Yeah.
mitigate the fighting and fussing, and to see what plan that she had, to protect them. So
Mm,
she didn't meet with anybody, so they didn't show up
mm.
for their safety
Not
purposes, they
even
said.
and not even her supporter, the one that's okay. Now there's one trustee that resigned. That was Mr. Jones, Jerry Jones. He resigned. Okay, there's a vacancy, but then there's still a quorum because you have the other three trustees and the supervisor. So there can be a quorum. There can be a quorum with two of the supervisors and I mean two of the trustees and the supervisor like they did before. I think that the older woman wants to stay out of the way. She didn't come. That's strange for her not to come and support the supervisor. Don't you think so?
Yeah,
Her
and the
name is
clerk didn't
Gray
the
Everett.
and the
Gray
clerk didn't
Everett.
show up. Are you talking about the clerk, or?
Yeah. No, the clerk showed up. The township clerk was there, but there's another village. I mean, the township supervisor. Um, you got Miss Carlisle, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Jones, and you got Gray Everett. Miss Gray Everett's the older lady that's
Yeah.
been on Tiffany's side and been with. Well, she didn't even show up. That was
Mhm.
strange to me. She didn't even show up. Something's going on there. I think that the boards know where they are, and I think that I got this funny feeling that they're going to get Tiffany soon. The FBI is coming. What you think?
Sure, I think that's what's going on, and they know it, and she knows it, especially with her getting a subpoena and nobody showing up. So, somebody knew that the subpoena was coming, and so
Mm.
nobody showed up. Do you want to
Oh,
talk about it on the other side of the break?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Brother Lee, I got something that the people was saying. I'm gonna go right in a couple seconds after I say this. They say they say you gotta leave Brother Lee alone, breathe Brother Lee got his opinion. He can say, I ain't saying nothing. And they were jumping on them Lee stands. We'll be back after our commercial break. Brother Lee's coming back with us. And we want to say good morning to everybody. You're listening to the Mac Man Morning Show. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know. Left, right, left, left, right, left. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. Your mama, your daddy, they vote. Your sister, your brother, they vote. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they need to get out and vote. This is a call to all Americans. On November 5th, 2024, you have a chance to be heard. Make your voice known. Vote. It's your turn.
America, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi. November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by friends of Diane Black.
All right, we're back here at the Mac Man Morning Show. Good morning to everybody. Uh, Also, good morning to our wonderful listeners on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial in the wonderful, wonderful, beautiful place. Y'all are come and visit in Mississippi. Come and visit DeSoto, Marshall, and all those other wonderful counties, and go and visit Holly Springs, Mississippi. It's a historic town, historic place, wonderful people, with a wonderful and the greatest radio station this side of the Mississippi, and that is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Yep, that's where we are. That's our headquarters. Those are our good people there. I was saying after before our break, um, I thank Keisha the stylist, one of our wonderful supporters who y'all come to Memphis and y'all need your locks done and your work done. You need to make sure you drop a line to her and make your appointment to see her. She's very classy, very sophisticated, very professional, and I guarantee you that you will be a happy customer. You need to have somebody. You ought to go a million miles if you know that it's going to be right. And a lot of people here in the Mid South have wonderful hairstyles Some of you need some work done on them. Like me, I need a haircut. I ain't talking about you, but get your locks tightened up, get them locked up, tightened up, and see Keisha Studios. Big Red, Little Red. The legacy goes on down there in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Y'all go down there and visit Red. Red's got some great things that are getting ready to come up. I'm going to bring them up hopefully before the uh, before the next break and give you a chance to see the attractions and the things that are coming. Good morning to everybody. Like to say hi. Listen, yesterday I got a message, Brother Lee. Somebody thought that uh, they said, James, they said, Brother Lee had to set you straight because you was stepping out of. Lee just got folks that like him some Lee. Y'all know the chat loves Lee and his perspective on things. Let me assure you, me and Brother Lee are not at which with each other. Brother Lee got a way of expressing himself that I know, and he brings great excitement to our show. And Brother Lee, you just got people, y'all go on and speak to them. They think I did something to you or something. Please let the folks know you're all right. I didn't hold you hostage and whoop on you. And then you the oldest, so I can't be not the oldest, but the seasoned, more seasoned than I am. Say good morning to the audience. I said what I said, partner, Brother Lee.
Good morning, everyone. And I appreciate the support out there. The whole station appreciates the support. And I'm not at odds with brother Mac.
Yeah.
Uh, we have differences of opinions. We don't think alike all the time, not even
No.
some of the time. But
Okay.
we have our views, and the best interest of the public is, us as people is at heart. I just want to make a clarification about that papers that were served to the mayor, they weren't served to the mayor. They were
They
served to the
weren't.
township. Let me finish.
Okay.
It was served
Yes,
to the
sir.
township. She represents the township. She did not personally get any summons.
Okay.
She's the representative of the township. So she
Right.
wasn't served. The township was served with the lawsuit.
Okay.
I just want to
And
say
I
that.
want to help you out a little. You're exactly right. According to the server, also, it was some people that were in Thornton Township, but it was a Dalton subpoena, the Dalton lawsuit that he
Yes.
was because it was against the city of the village of Dalton, and they just so happened to catch her at that meeting to serve her. What a perfect way! I mean, she's right there in the public meeting. The man said who he was and identified himself. Said, "Ma'am, I have this from the court," and he did it legal and identified who he was and everything. And they was kind of shocked when it happened. But yes, it's a lawsuit involving a Dalton
Yes.
business owner. And yeah, go ahead, Lee. Go ahead,
Yeah.
give us some other.
It
Give us.
involves the city of Dalton, the town of Dalton. It was not. She's a representative of that town, and she
Right.
didn't personally get a lawsuit. And I like to say, you were saying about it was hard to um to give her some leeway. But let me say this: grace is something you give when it's hard. Grace
Right.
is something you don't give. Grace is easy if you're giving it to things that's not hard to do. The meaning of grace is because you're confronted with something that's hard and somebody you might not like. That's when you give the grace. That's when grace is appreciated the most. When you're going through some trying times and people are doubting you and people are coming for you, you want some grace. Everybody in this planet wants grace. You want to be forgiven, but you don't want to forgive. You want grace, but you don't want to give the grace. You know, that's the thing. That's what makes us. People say they Christians, but the minute something goes sideways, they throw that Christian way of life aside and they come at you. So I mean, how committed you are with God if you don't forgive. And you say, well, I can't do that. Well, then don't be a Christian then. Don't come out and say you believe in God. Don't come out and say, you believe you have that faith if you're not willing to give it. I don't like
Okay,
it when people
yeah,
say, "Yeah, I'm a man of God, I'm a woman of God," but here you come when you get when you need it the most, you're cast to the side. So when you say you're a Christian, look, take that somewhere else.
okay. I agree with you. I mean, let me put it this way, and maybe I should clarify my remarks. We all deserve grace if we go and we ask for it. Yes. And I know that this is a lot of theatrics that go on. There's some serious things that are going on in that community. And we're bringing it out. We're bringing it out. And not in a judgmental way, but in an informal, an informational way to give to people the information that they need. You can just see that the people are suffering. Yes, the homeowner owners are suffering. People are suffering because of the decisions and the things that she make. Does that make her a horrible person? I wouldn't say that she's the horrible person. It's some questions there. You got to change your behavior too if you want grace. I'm not saying that I'm the judge one way or the other, or I'm anybody's uh, sitting on the jury or whatever. But you're absolutely right. But I said what I said. People have an opinion about this. Excuse me. People have their opinions about this, and for the sake of discussion, it just seems like it's just the same thing as y'all know about this Nesto Williams down there in Atlanta. Shirley Strawberry's husband. A lot of things were going on with that, and they say, "Well, the man needs mercy," and then some people say, "Crucify him," and excuse me, do all these things to him, or whatever the case may be. Help me out. I said what I said. Why is the public so heavy on people like Miss Tiffany? Is it that they hate her, or are we being, as Brother Lee saying, some of the peoples are being kind of judgmental, or what have you? Go ahead.
Well, I think it's a combination of all of it. She doesn't show any grace to anyone. They feel like that she disrespect her co-workers, well, not co-workers, but colleagues. And so they try to work with her. Anytime they try to work with her, she gaslights them. So I feel like the grace goes both ways. And if you want grace, then you have to give grace. If you want friends, then you have to be friendly. And so I don't think it's that anybody just hate her personally, but they don't like the way that she acts as far as Mr. Williams go. I've always said give him grace because even though, he's done a lot of wrong, he still needs somebody to lean and depend on. And, the YouTube streets crucify his girlfriend because they don't like the fact that he's married and had a girlfriend. Well, he's not doing nothing new under the sun. It's a lot of people have a wife and a girlfriend, but his is just put in the public's eye. And anytime that you're in the public eye, the public is going to give their personal opinion. And that's just how it goes. And he didn't ask to be in the spotlight, neither did Miss Hinyard ask to be in the spotlight, but they are in the spotlight. And once you're in the spotlight, hey, it's the light is going to shine up on you. And so
You, the light is going to shine upon you.
yeah, yeah, the light is gonna shine on you and it's gonna shine bright. And so it's about what you do in those situations because in both situations, everybody kept telling him not to be on the phone, not to be, discussing anything. So, both of them are writing scripts. And so when you write a script for somebody to follow, this is the type of world that we live in social media. You write the
Yeah.
script is gonna be told. And that's just how it goes. It's not that you have anything personal against them. It's just, you guys are writing a script, and that's what I have to say about it.
Well, brother Lee, I just want, and I know that you ain't, me and you, we good and everything, and I assure the peoples that we're fine. But for, like I said again, for the sake of discussion as I said, what I said was saying, even, and I'm not trying to talk about the man down there, he ain't my subject, but even like that, um, we come up against some things, Brother Lee. And my thing is, I know that grace is abound, and we are not, because I've done some things that don't know nobody know but Jesus, and I'm sure we all have. But are we as commentators and what you hear out there, because there was a lot of critics that were saying, y'all not cutting them folks no slack. It's two sides to every story. Y'all on one side of the fence. I know that sometimes in commentating we can be a little bit critical. I've been critical of some people on some platforms. I think that sometimes they tie us up with everybody else. That's just my opinion. When I'm listening, I don't get on nobody's thing and say nothing, but you hear a lot of things going on. It may not be what I think it is, but that's what I feel at the time that I'm listening to them. Should we be, Brother Lee? I mean, I'm just saying, as a group or as people that do commentating and news, are we double biased, or I wouldn't say double biased, but are we just biased to try to twist what the facts are? I hope I'm not doing this, the facts, twisting the facts on the situation, just, or do we, should we just do anything and everything just to get somebody to view our show? I want your opinion, Brother Lee.
Well, let me say this. We use the word but and however when we said something and then we want to be on both sides of the argument. We say but, that means we going to the other side. And then we say however, and then we go into the other side. You can't have two different opinions on the same subject. And I like to say we're not saying these things for likes and and and, and clicks. No, this is how we have viewed things. This is how we see things at this radio station. I mean, as far as grace, I'm not saying that she's right or wrong. I don't say that I don't know for a fact that this is going on. I'm going by what I hear, what I see, and then I don't know her point of view from how she sees the board. I mean, the thing is, they say they fear for their lives. I doubt that. It's just another maneuver, I would say. They all jockeying for position. And I would say the reason we are on this show and we giving our opinions and our points of views and everything. And I like to say, I just want people to have an opportunity, us to have an opportunity to say, okay, maybe it's not what we see. Maybe it's not what it is because we're on this woman in Dalton. But you know what? I'm going to tell you this, and you can look it up. That mayor prior to her was doing the same thing, but not in that flamboyant way. And the mayor before her was doing the same thing. And mayors all over this country is
Yeah.
doing the same thing. And we're saying she's outrageous. This has never happened before. This happens every single day in your county, your state, but yet and still we're saying this is outrageous. No, it's not. It's status quo. And the thing is, we have to understand this woman reads the bylaws. Don't think she's stupid. She knows, if they could get rid of her, she'd be gone. And one way to get rid of her is to vote her out. You know, they want to argue the fact, okay, get a referendum and get some signatures and call for early election. There's ways you could do it. But they all making a show of everything. That's what I'm saying. If you want to get a referendum, get some signatures and get an early election and then get her out. But don't sit here and cry about it. That's what I have to say.
Well, I tell you, it is interesting, and it's a good analogy of such, because, like I said, it's not just in that area. We're bringing this story out, basically to let everybody know you got problems everywhere. They got problems here, there. The municipal, like I said, there were some candidates, potential candidates that were reaching out to me about some things that were going on in the area of Holly Springs. Now, I'm not into the politics to a point where I get in somebody, I'm in your local, unless you got something that's serious enough to bring to the table that we can discuss. I don't know anything about the situation. I'm just saying that there are people that are putting themselves in a position to run and to challenge government. That's what I'm happy about. You got a right to run for whatever you want to run for. But then just don't run, because a lot of people run because there's a lot of benefit, financial benefit. There are a lot of deals. There are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that we don't see in that political world. I'm not saying everybody there is crooked or whatever the case may be, but there are some things that, and compromises and things that are done that we will never know about. And hopefully we can bring those things out. There's a symptom. I won't say that she's the problem, but she's a big symptom of what's going on. Um, and it's an embarrassment that we do have to come and say anything about the sister, because you think about it, she's somebody's daughter, she's somebody's mother, she has a child. I hope that they would think, and we all have to say to ourselves, we got to be very, very careful, because um, things affect our family. And I was wondering, is this thing, what this thing is going to do to her child's reputation, and things that, well, your mama was this, and kids is cruel and everything, and not just kids, people in general. We'll never know what happened behind the scenes. Um, we'll never know the real. I won't. I don't know if we ever will, but there's a lot of legal actions that are going on along there in Thornton Township and in Dalton. Please stay tuned. I said what I said, gonna be on top of it. And we're gonna find out what's happening. Well, Nestor Williams is divorced. Uh, he did divorce Shirley Straw, didn't he? I said what I said. You know about that kind of stuff. Was it?
Well,
What
actually,
happened to
Shirley Strawberry divorced him. Um,
him?
so yeah, they are technically divorced, and he's still locked up, trying to fight for his case. Trying to fight for his life, and so
Hmm.
that's how that's going at this point.
Yeah. Well, we might keep. We'll peek over down there and our sources down there, and talk to Lady T Bug. And I said what I said to keep us informed on what's going on. I like for y'all to go and invite you all to go over to Lady T Bug, her page. She has a wonderful platform for those of you that are on YouTube, and those of you that are listening to us on the radio. You want to get some real perspective. These ladies get together, and so you can't stick your head out there, because you, and don't. I'm not saying they mean, they real good people, but you got to be careful. You got to walk light, because boy, they got a Pamela over there led by Lady T Bug and brought up the rear by I said what I said. Y'all already know what the deal is. Y'all visit Lady T Bug and give her a holler and tell her that the Mac Man sent you over there to say hello. Listen, we're going to be going to our national story in a little bit. We have in the chat, I think I just put it there. Here it is right here. Put in the chat. We're expecting, I'm reaching out uh, to our next Congresswoman of the first congressional district. I want to talk about this just a little bit, because there's a development that I have received, um, and I was trying to verify it. I think I got proper verification of this, and we're going to talk about. I want Miss Diane Black to come on. We're reaching out to you, Diane. If you see the on the screen, you'll see, and let us know that you're there. You can tap the link. Give me the right directions. I said what I said. Brother Ryan is not here with us. If he's around anywhere to give us some instructions, give Miss Black some instructions. If I'm giving her to her right, all she got to do is click and put her name, and she'll come right into the studio. We'll put her in the staging. And anybody else that has a comment about your local government. What's going on in your hometowns? What's happening? Y'all can talk unless you're unable to. I know that you are. This is the Mac Man Morning Show. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Let me say this also that came across. This is my little time, and we're going to give. I said what I said is going to be coming with our national story, talking about this tragedy that happened in this region. The officers were released before the Tyree Nichols sentencing. That it's a sad thing to see people like us. I don't know. We're going to be talking about this tragic unalivement of this young man, done on videotape, the cover-ups and everything. But they're in a federal phase right now in the downtown Memphis federal court building down there, and they're straightening out some things. There was a verdict. We're going to be talking about just a little bit of everything with that. But before we go into that, I just wanted to say that. Wait a minute, I lost my place a little bit here. Okay, I'm good. For those of you all about Mississippi, real quick, before we go to our break and we'll go into our national story. Mississippi, it is very important. The deadline for voter registration was on the 7th. So now I'm talking to those of you that are lawfully registered, that have registered. Folks, if you look at, I had a picture of hold on one second, good people. I got it right here. Thank you, Jesus. I had a sample ballot sent to me, and the remarkable part is, those of you that live in the 1st Congressional District, the Democrats are on top. They're the top. The first name that you're going to see is Vice President Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's name for president. I'm waiting for it to load up, but it'll load up and I'll get it going. I'm going to go to break a little bit early and give this thing a chance to not to warm up, to buff up here. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. I am here with our wonderful panel. I said what I said, our chief correspondent and our lead contributor, Brother Lee, senior contributor, Brother Lee, and we're going to come back. We're going to be talking about this Tyree Nichols sentencing situation, and I'm going to get these other photographs in to show you the ballot. You're listening to the Magman Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know. First thing first, you You know, back in middle school when they taught us it was three branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now none of them three people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president.
America, 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 we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi, November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by Friends of Diane Black.
Attention WKRA listeners, if you would like to advertise on the MacMan Morning Show, please leave a message at macmedia3@gmail.com.
And we're back on the MacMan Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host. Welcome to all of you that have come into our chat, and those of you that are listening on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We'd like to welcome you also to this wonderful experience that we call each and every morning, each and every weekday morning at 9 o'clock. We call this the MacMan Morning Show. Good morning to all of you. Thank you all for your support and your kindness and everything that you have brought and done. Forgive me. Good morning again. I'm so sorry. Forgive me for that microphone. I got to get that situation taken care of. Like I said, once again, you're listening to the MacMan Morning Show each and every weekday morning at 9 a.m. on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We just really great to be a part of just being able to do what we do. I hope y'all can hear me a little bit better. I had the microphone was kind of wacky. Forgive me, but things like that do happen. Thank you, Miss Penelope, for your direction on that, and I said what I said for that. At this time, as we continue with our broadcast today, I went to break a little bit early, and I wanted to be able to give. I said what I said. A opportunity to bring her national story for her and for Brother Lee as they discuss today's story. Listen, this has been a hot topic. I know a lot of stuff has been drowned out, even about the election and so forth. But if Project 2025 gets implemented, you won't see what you've seen in the Shelby County and the federal court systems of protection of civil rights from no matter who you are. You could be an officer, you could be whomever you are, politician, whatever the case may be. If you violate the law, you should be brought to justice. I'm just going to bring our national chief correspondent. I said what I said, and our national senior contributor, Brother Lee, to come. And as they discussed this morning's topic on this tragedy that has happened, but hopefully the justice that will come to this family at this time. I said what I said.
Okay, thank you, James. I appreciate that.
And I
Yeah,
can't and I can do what you asked me to do. What it bring up is there something
yeah,
that you'd like for me to bring up?
yeah. We
Just
have
tell me.
other,
I'm sorry.
yeah, we have other stories in that's in the system before we talk about this one. Um, I thought it was very important for us to bring up this little boy here. I thought this was very important. So let's talk about this first. You
10-year
guys
old that
stand
face
by.
charges.
Yeah, you
Is
guys
that the
stand
one?
by. Yeah,
Okay, I
that's the
got
one.
you. I,
Okay,
all
Well,
so
right.
I'm
this
gonna
was
go
the
ahead and
moment
play
a
that
driver
video,
went
and
on
we'll
a
talk about.
joyride through a park right next to a playground filled with children. Minneapolis police say that driver was just 10 years old and the car was stolen. Luckily, no one was hurt. Even more shocking, the 10-year-old already has a long criminal history.
Lauren Lemanchek has been following the story all day and brings us the very latest. Lauren?
Yeah, you're right. That video is shocking. And so is the history of a 10-year-old boy who police say they've had 30 contacts with. Tonight, the Hennepin County attorney has charged the boy in that case and in a separate attempted carjacking. This case is an example, officials say, of major system failures.
It is literally a matter of life and death when we're talking about what's going on with these young kids.
When a 10-year-old allegedly drove a stolen car through a playground full of kids near Nellie Stone Johnson School in North Minneapolis, it wasn't his first run-in with police. MPD says he's been arrested twice before for car theft and is a suspect in more than 12 cases, ranging from stealing cars to assault with a dangerous weapon.
The system doesn't have an answer for what to do with someone this young. And that is the revolving door that we've been seeing over and over throughout this year.
An urgent problem Chief O'Hara says frustrates the kids' parents, too. KARE 11 recently interviewed the mother of a different 12-year-old who had been repeatedly picked up for stealing cars.
The kids, they sit and get all these cases and they keep letting them go. But that doesn't do anything. That's not helping solve the problem.
But in her son's case, and in so many others, there are no secure facilities in Minnesota for these very young kids to go. The county attorney's office says that needs to be solved right now.
We know what we need. We need residential placements with varying levels of security in our community.
Chief O'Hara agrees.
Someone like this, unbelievably at 10 years old, is so much at risk that when we are able to take them and bring them in, we can't just let them go.
In Minnesota, kids cannot be charged with a crime if they're under 10, so that boy likely had to be released without charges before. It's interesting to note, though, that law is changing upward. Starting in 2026, kids won't be able to face charges until they're 13, something else the chief is extremely concerned about. Julie?
Oh my goodness. Lauren, it's just jaw-dropping. Thank you so much. Chief O'Hara had much more to say about the troubling trend of young children and crime. If you'd like to hear his entire press conference, you can find it on the KARE 11 YouTube channel.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is, thank God nobody got hurt. And the little kid was he was at a park, and there were other kids there, and thank God they were all returned back home to safety. I understand that this little boy had some problems, but it looked like they finna get ready to build a jail for kids, in my opinion. And I definitely don't like the way that the newscaster said that boy, as if she was calling him a slave or what have you. And I understand she probably was upset or whatever, but when you're reporting the news, especially on the national news, you're really supposed to try to be biased. It is horrific what he did. It was very dangerous what he did. And instead of building a jail facility, I hope they try to do something different. Maybe try to build a facility so that these kids could try to get rehabilitated, or try to get them some help instead of just trying to throw them in a jailhouse. He is headed to jail if he continue the road that he's on. And for him to have that many cases and that many incidents with the police, I wonder where his parents are and what type of parents do he have. And you do have government agencies that come and take your kid if you're mistreating your kid. But if you're not raising your kid, then I think the government agency need to, they need to try to have some type of agency to try to help these kids. CPS will come in and snatch your kid up if somebody call and make a report on you. Even if you're trying to discipline your kid, sometimes they'll snatch them up out the house. So maybe they need to try to go through the CPS route instead of trying to go through the jail route. What are
Let
your
me ask
thoughts
you
about
something.
this? Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you something before you uh, go into it. What did they say? How old this kid was?
He's 10 years old and
15.
he's already had
He's
30
10 now.
contacts. Yeah.
Already had. Okay, bro. I want to say, brother Lee, help me. Now you got a son. This kid 30. How many times? 30 times. That he
Yes,
had
30.
encounters with the police. He got a rap sheet longer than I do, and he's 10 years old. Help us out, brother Lee. What's going on with these young men?
Well,
I just
I
wanted to
would
ask.
say
That's why I wanted to throw that in. I'm sorry.
I would say this, and I may offend some of the sisters out here, but I'm gonna tell you like this. I bet you $1 to $100 she's a single mother and she fought for custody for that kid or that father didn't show up. The thing is we have to understand that it's not working giving the kids to these single mothers. The court has to turn these. Listen, we say, well, father's a deadbeat. He's not a good husband. He's not a good boyfriend. But make him a good father by giving him custody of these kids. Because I'm gonna tell you this for a fact. I've been in the public aid office for a few times, and I've never seen a man there with it asking for public aid for his kids. I never seen a man there. I worked in the food pantries. A man there with his kids saying, we gonna get us some free food. He gonna get out there and he gonna work. He gonna do what he has to do. See, and he's gonna give that kid that discipline that he needs. He's not been given a chance. Single mother's been doing it. Single mother's been going to the court saying, I want custody, I want child support. The judge should turn these kids over to these men and see what the men can do. Because it seems like the women can't do it. They'll say, I'm the mama and the daddy. Ain't no way no woman can be a daddy. They could change the sex change and pretend to be a daddy, but no. You need to do drastic things. Stop giving these kids to these women. And saying that, oh, I'm the only thing. No, the judge needs to turn these kids over to these men and make fathers out of them. And I'm going to tell you about this boy. He needs discipline. He's not getting it. And that's the reason why he is out there doing whatever she's saying, well, ain't nothing I can do with him. Well, you're not doing enough with him. I was a kid once. Everybody was a kid once. You need discipline. You need somebody that cares, not just gonna turn him loose into the street and say, I can't do nothing with him. He talking back. Well, because you telling him it's cute when he cusses at you. It's cute when he uses all kinds of words. It's cute when he pees in his pants and he's 6 years old. It's cute when you ask him what he wants for dinner. Who asks a little kid what you want for dinner? You just make it and he eat it. You give him chores to do. You go up to the schools and make sure, yeah, you got a job. Everybody has most people do have a job, but you could take time. My mother took time to go up to that school, and she had a hard job, and she made sure that you got good grades. She made sure, she told that teacher, you can beat that, you can beat that butt, and he better not get out of line. When I went to school, I just want to finish. When I went to school, we had hot lunches. I had roast beef sandwiches in the 60s. We had a great lunch. Schools have gone backwards. They had vocational high schools with mechanics and electrical and drafting and home economics, all these things you can use to get a job with. You can't get no job with social studies. And the social studies ain't correct anyway. The early world history is not our history. So we've been taught things that we can't get a job with. That's what I gotta say.
Well, Lee, what about the
Wait a
fathers
minute.
that don't? What about the fathers that don't want to be a father though? You have so
But you
many
know what?
men.
It's less of them than it is the ones that want to be a father. So let's not talk about the few. Let's talk about the many. I could talk about a
Well, I
couple of
don't
them.
know
I
too
could talk.
many of them. I don't know too
Well,
many of them
you
that want to be a
you you
father
don't know
because
too many. You don't know too many because you're not looking.
well, I can give you my
You know
own
a lot of
experience.
you know a
I
lot
can
of single mothers. You know a
I
lot of
can give you
single
my
mothers.
experience. I can
I'm
give you
giving you
my
mine,
experience.
and
I'm
and I
giving you.
know.
Let me give you my experience. I
Yes,
sent my son to his father, and what did he do? He sent his son over to his mother's house. So it's not all of the single mothers that's trying to keep
I
their
didn't say
kids
all.
from their
Don't
fathers.
have to be all of them. Don't have to be
Okay.
all of them.
Well, I'm just saying, just some of them want to be fathers and some of them don't. So
Listen, a
you
lot
can't,
of
you
them want
can't
to be
say that
fathers.
all mothers. You can't say that all
No,
mothers
no, I
and
didn't say all mothers. I say
okay.
fathers need a chance. Fathers need a chance to take these kids and take them from the mamas and get out there and make grown
All
ups
right.
out of these kids.
Okay,
That's what
we
I'm
got
saying.
a we got a
We
guest.
haven't given an opportunity.
Yes. Okay, I'm not trying to stop y'all. Hey, this chat is lit up. Y'all done started something. This is the Magman Morning Show. Holy Toledo, Batman. Listen, we're getting ready to. We have a guest that's in our studio. We have Miss Shan is here. We'd like to say hello to you, ma'am.
Good
What is your
morning.
comment?
Good
Good
morning.
morning,
Yes,
Can you hear
ma'am.
Shan.
me?
Hey, Shan.
Good
I only
morning.
just I only decided to come up because I was a single mother for a moment and I also worked in law enforcement, and having a father does not necessarily make this better, because, or should I say, having a man in your life, because all of those men were not fathers, or they were doing the same thing that these kids were learning to do from them. The whole thing about it is, for me, coming up, and we all up here probably about 50 and over, so we grew up at a time where there was structure in the household. You was allowed to pat that bottom if they got out of hand. And I feel like I had, even though I didn't have a father for real in my life like that, I had enough structure in my personality and the type of person that I am. It came out different from my siblings because we're in a mixed bag here. I went into law enforcement. He went into the jailhouse. We had a daddy. We had fathers. We had uncles. We had a grandfather that worked. That didn't make a difference. Now, the thing here is, I was a little offended by the giving these women the kids. Most women don't just take these kids and say, they mine, 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 I'm running away with them. Once the women have the kid, a lot of men, even decent fathers, let them be in charge, because what I have seen in the legal realm of things is a lot of men, and I'm gonna say majority, let women raise these kids and come in when it's good for them. And that's
Okay.
what I saw a lot of. Even men in the household, parents, dual household, all that, it still didn't stop these kids from going out here and doing stuff. The
All
problem
right.
is, we're getting away from allowing parents to raise their children. I can no longer pat that bottom. It worked for me because it got me in line, because I was like, okay, a lot of times I was like, I'm not about to do that because I'm gonna get hooked up down the street when I do certain things. Sometimes I did do other stuff, but it was like I knew I had it coming from Miss Mary, Miss Pat, and when it got back to my grandma, my mama, and my granddaddy, it was on. Okay,
Right.
All
so
right.
Right.
that's the
Okay.
problem. The problem is not single mothers. That was a very offensive. So I
Well,
mean,
wait a minute. I want to give it. Okay,
Well,
Shan, if you just stand by for a second, brother Lee, would you like to respond to
well,
Miss Shan's?
yes, I would, and I'm gonna step up further to the plate. Yes, it is blaming the single mothers. I'm gonna tell you something. I raised three kids, and some kids, and quite a few of them wasn't mine. Not the three kids. I raised other people's kids, and I'm gonna tell you something. I've gotten kids from mothers that said that this one mother had 12 kids, 11 kids. And I went over there and I told her, I said, listen, let me take that kid for you and raise them because you have too many. And I told her, don't give me a dime. I didn't get any public aid money for that kid. And I took that kid and I raised that kid like it was my own. And I did that again and again and again and again. And I'm gonna tell you something. I stayed in my house, helped raise my kids. They are doing excellent. They got master's degrees. They've traveled all around the world. And I'm gonna tell you something. But it's a lot of fathers like me, more fathers like me than the ones you talk about. So when you say, yeah, you don't like it, that's too bad. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've done it. I know more about social work than you do. I don't need to tell you my background, but I got a deep background in DCFS. So
And I
that's all I got to say.
background in law enforcement, but that's not what I'm saying. I want to interrupt because I'm not saying that you're saying something wrong. Your opinion is your opinion. I'm fine with that. What I'm saying is to women like me, who I was a single mother for a moment, I wasn't on aid. I have plenty of friends that are single mothers that are on aid. And that's like offensive the way you put it. All I'm saying is what you said was offensive to women like me who have never been on aid.
Well,
I was,
public aid ain't got nothing to do with it.
but that was a,
DCFS handles more than just people on public aid. If you knew something about social work, you would know that.
I do know that because I also know that this child right here, in some instances, what they would do is they would try to help them with counseling, getting things in the house that he need, and all that kind of stuff. So I know about when I say public aid, I don't mean just money. I mean the whole system is public aid because I was a government worker. Our law enforcement is in the government. We dealt all together. It's public aid is the whole system. And what I'm trying to say to what you said was it's almost like how you said it was not, you were putting it on all our backs instead of
Not it's not 100%.
I let you finish your statement, but I'm trying to explain to you how you came off. And sister, I said what I said was trying to let you know too that it's women out there like that, but it's men out there like that too. And I'm not saying, or it felt like it was more of a gender slight versus a parental slight, because I agree with you. There is a parental slight there. These I see and I saw that people were wanting schools to raise their kids. And during the 19 conflict where school wasn't in, people were mad because they couldn't send their kids off. And the thing about it is that's not a mother or father thing, that's a parental thing. Like we got to make parents culpable, not just mother or father. I mean parents. Like that was great of you to take those kids in, but we need to start making parents responsible for children. And I don't think a 9, 8, 7-year-old should be in a facility. I think what you should do is force male or female parental figure, both of them. At that point, that's when you should bring them both to the gamut, mother and father, and make them, that's where you make them take responsibility, because you have now created this little person, and it's your responsibility to build them up into a productive citizen, not the world around them. And at 8 and 9, you should not be doing this kind of stuff, because in my family, I would snatch you up because we're not having it. We're not having it in this family. So that's the problem. We've gotten away from letting a village raise a kid, and I'm gonna call the people if you touch me. Some kids need to be touched, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But
Brother Lee.
they need that structure.
That's it. Yeah.
I
Can
agree.
I say something? Can I say something right
Yeah,
quick?
yes.
What I want to say is a lot of the times the parents are so busy fighting each other to where they forget the kid. If a father don't like the mother, or if the mother don't like the father, then it's the kid that have to pay the price. And in a lot of these situations, these women, some women don't want they'll hold the kids hostage to get back at the father. And sometimes the father will hold the kids, will not be bothered with the kid because they don't like the mother. And really, both need to take themselves out the situation on how they feel about each other and worry about the kid. And Lee, I'll let you go ahead and have the last word before
I,
James close up.
I agree with both of you sisters. I'm not against women. I'm not against sisters or mothers. I'm for mothers. I was raised by a mother that was single. But the thing is, I was in that system. You know, my father, my mother had kids by several different men. Some she married, some she did not marry. And the thing is about that is that my father, he was the father of seven. And I'm gonna tell you like this: he wanted custody of all of us. He went to court and he couldn't get them because she fought not to give them to him. You know, and the thing is, it's a lot of good fathers. He was back in the '60s fighting for his kids. You know, he would come try to give money to my mother to take. She said she don't want it. I mean, and we was a family of 10 or 11, 9. So it was a lot of us, and it was a fight among themselves rather than what's best for the kids. And I say yes, a lot of sisters out here that's doing the right thing. There's no question about it. But it's a lot of fathers that need to, that want to step up and have that same opportunity. It's a lot of good brothers out here. You know, social media has painted a very bad picture of the brothers. You know, a lot of women want different kind of guys, but that's another subject altogether. Maybe we'll get to that next week. Thank you.
Well, I want to say, I said what I said. You.
Okay, well,
Who is-
yeah,
wait,
James. Let
Sam.
me just
Hold on,
say this
Sam.
one
Back.
thing.
What?
I
Yeah,
guess I'm
yeah.
gonna have to
Go ahead.
bring. I guess I'm gonna have to bring my other story sometime this week because we didn't get to the Tyree Nichols story, and I apologize for that.
Oh,
But
you
basically,
got
two of the cops that unalive Tyree Nichols get to stay at home and until their sentencing. They're not off the hook
yeah.
yet, but I just thought it was a disgrace for them to even be able to get out of jail and wait for their sentence because to me it's a little special treatment for the cops because no other person, no, a regular citizen wouldn't be able to be out of jail while they wait for their sentence after they've been found guilty. And so I just wanted to go ahead and address my title for today. And Brother Lee,
Well,
we Brother Lee, we appreciate your opinion. And nobody's, this is what we do. Um, this is everybody have their own opinion, and everybody have the right to think what they think. And so I just wanted to try to get my point across, like you wanted to get yours across. And James, I'll let you go ahead and finish up.
I appreciate you, my sister. I do. I appreciate you.
this is healthy. This is healthy. Ain't nothing wrong with this. And you're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. I got Shan, our wonderful listener. I got Brother Lee, our chief contributor and our chief correspondent. I said what I said. This is what I'm talking about. When you can have engagement, as we get ready to wind down, as we can engage together, we can disagree. We ain't gonna agree on everything, but I'm glad that we have a place, and there is a place that you can come and express yourself. Ain't nobody gonna jump on you. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you or nothing like that. But sometimes, if we talk it out, you'd be real surprised that we may be on the same we're in the same book. We're just trying to get to the same page. I'd like to bring this discussion back again, something similar to this. If we could bring something like this to our show, Brother Lee, if you deal with a lot. I'd like for there to be a segment and in a week, in within the week to come on. Miss Shan, I know that you're a very, very busy person. If you'd like to come on, also the public could share. We like to talk. I see that this is something that's interesting that should be brought out. How do we feel? Let us not let people define who we are. We can define ourselves. Man, let me tell you something. This chat, I said what I said. Uh, I'm going. Why don't you take us on off the air, and I'll work these controls. You can take us off the air. Have those last couple of minutes.
Well, I just wanted to say I thought it was a great, healthy discussion. Like you said, we do need to discuss this further, and I'll make sure that I'll bring up a segment for that and set up a show for it. But you're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your listening dial, and you're listening to I Said What I Said, James Mack and Lee. And thank you for joining our morning show. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. We have a new page. It's called the Mac Man Morning Show. You guys have a great day.
It's the Mac Man Morning Show.